Hey guys, so it's been a week since Down Under 135 Miler, and in actual fact this time last week I'd still be running and having a party, and I threw it out to you what questions you wanted me to answer. So I got loads of questions, so thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. I got so many, in fact, that I can't answer them all at once. So I'm going to have to break it up into just a series of short videos. And the reason I've chosen videos is because I'm too lazy to write a race report. But I found it probably there. For me, it was the easiest way, although I'm not very good with technology. So this will be unedited, so because I have no idea how to stitch things together and cut things up. But yeah. I was a bit surprised that more of you weren't asking questions about the actual event. So it was more on how I got through the event. So, which, I found that really interesting. And so I'll answer them as best I can. So the first one is, how much do you eat and what? So I'm sure you all know now that I ate 3 kilos of potatoes, loaded in butter with salt. And so I was using potatoes as one of my main fuel sources, which is lucky because I am on Team Potato. Team Potato is an actual thing. I am the only Australian, on Team Potato. And I'm pretty chuffed with that. So yeah, pretty proud. Mostly potatoes. The girls were amazing. They cooked every time I came to a checkpoint and had the potatoes. Yeah, to me, everything was amazing. So, I love potatoes. The other thing I did have was I tried to eat Vegemite sandwiches. I found that couldn't really chew and swallow that all that well. Although, what I was eating was good. And Tailwind. So I was using Tailwind as one of my fuel sources as well. So, mostly hydration, but getting some calories in that from Tailwind. And bee pops was the other thing. So, but I did find that, by the time I got to around that 30-hour mark, I was just so sick of sugar. But I can still eat bee pops. So I was quite excited about the bee pops. So that was my, that's what I ate. So, did you sleep, nap, or just keep the caffeine gum up? Really good question, because I know a lot of you think I didn't sleep. I wasn't planning on sleeping, although I had practiced my napping. Isn't that wonderful? Practicing napping. So it did turn out that I did nap. I had a couple of naps. So, and I found that with if I had 20 minutes, I was like sick. Woke up vomiting, that sort of thing, dry reaching. But you need to find what your magic number is. So I found my magic number is 7 minutes. And so when I got to O'Brien's, I did decide to have a sleep. As I said, it wasn't something that I was going to have, but it was not something I wasn't going to restrict myself from doing as well. At O'Brien's, had 7 minutes there. I got the girls to set the clock for 11 minutes because normally it takes me about 4 minutes to fall asleep. And by 7 minutes, I'm snoring my head off. And I remember the look on Melissa Castlick's face when I was like almost bang on the minute, 7 minutes. I was like, pop straight up and I wrote, right, let's go. So that was pretty cool. And then at Lowe's, yes, I was jackhammering. I was so freaking cold. I couldn't regulate my temperature and I decided to have a nap there, and I actually needed the whole 11 minutes at Lowe's. So I just remember that being so cold. And the caffeine gum, yes, I did find the caffeine gum worked really, really well. So, and what this person's talking about is the military gum that I actually sell on my website. So I do sell the bee pops. I do need to add the bee pops. So the bee pops are a natural honey and honeycomb on a little stick. And the caffeine gum, the military gum, so works really, really well. And I've, a lot of people are actually having really good results with that. So, and I found that my favorite was the cinnamon, which, surprised me. But there you go. Do you ever get to the point where you think this is fucked? Why am I doing this? If so, what do you do to get past it? Yes, I had a few motherfucker moments. And so yeah, you just need to recognize that you are going to go through lows. So you're going to go through highs and then you're going to go through lows, and just realizing or recognizing that those lows aren't going to last forever. So they don't last that long either. So normally with me, it's, I find that once I've actually recognized, and I like said to the girls there a few times, because I'd go really quiet, I'd go, I'm really sorry, I'm in a low. And and they just leave me be, which was great. But being in the moment as well, so not getting too far ahead of yourself. So for me, it's like checkpoint to checkpoint. I never ever think, holy crap, I've got 200 something Ks to run. For me, it's like, okay, so the next checkpoint's about 13 Ks, or like 3 hours, whatever it may be. I can do that. And breaking it up into those doable chunks. I know everybody probably says that, but it actually does work. And so what do I do to get past? Just recognize it. Recognize it. It's like, yeah, I'm in a low. But positive affirmations, so talking to yourself. So for me, it was, there is no good and bad. There is only forward. And talking to myself in a very calm voice. Just, one foot in front of the other, just keep going forward. So that's pretty much it. What happens if you need to poo? I'm not sure why you're interested in my bowel movements, but anyway, poo. I didn't need to. I found I was probably consuming burning the calories as quickly as I was consuming them. So I didn't need to stop and do a poo. And another one, how many toilet trips are you allowed? As many as you like. You aren't restricted to how often you stop. So I needed to pee twice, and that was it for me. So yes, there you go. We'll move on from those. Do you get lonely or in the zone? No, I don't get lonely. I actually really enjoy my own company, which is lucky, because these events, for most part, you are on your own. So I just love being in the bush by myself, usually with my dogs. And the thing that I do love is I get to see things that most people in their lifetime would never get to see. Because these areas you can't get there by bike, you can't get there by four-wheel drive. So the only way you can get there is on foot. And it really is spectacular. We live in the most beautiful country. It's absolutely amazing what you get to see. And in the zone, yes. So it is you do get into quite a meditative state. I'm probably a little bit addicted to that state. So it's great when you're just in that moment and none of the outside world, you're not even thinking of anything but, moving forward. So, yeah. How do you keep going, and what's your why? How do you keep going? You have to decide to keep going. It's one foot in front of the other, pretty much. Just keep reminding yourself. Just keep going. But my why? Why do I... there's a couple of answers to this one. But why do I run, or why do I do these sorts of events, or why did I do this event in particular? The reason why I did this event in particular, or went back, is because I did have an axe to grind. So I had unfinished business. Why do I run? Because without it, I wouldn't be here. And yeah, so, because I know if I didn't run, I'd go back down a rabbit hole and I wouldn't come back. So yeah, I used running to give up smoking and a lot of other things. So yes, and I know if I stop stop running, yeah, I'd go back to the other things. But yeah, I definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, I would not be here today. So, the next question, and the last one for today, is do Cadence and Pace give you the cold shoulder after you go away without them, or are they just glad to see you? No, they are completely freaking pissed, especially Pace. So with Pace, I've probably created a little bit of a monster. I found that her happy number per week is 80 Ks. So without 80 Ks, she destroys everything. Cadence, on the other hand, she's like, oh, run, sleep, run, no, choose sleep. But yeah, so I will be getting back into training next week, and the girls will be very, very pleased about that. So that's the questions for today. And if you do have any more, please ask. Yeah, as I said, I'm more than happy to answer them for you. And I was actually I am trying to raise money for Backtrack. So if you can spare a couple of bucks, that would be awesome. If you go to the GoFundMe page, it's DU135 for Backtrack. And yeah, any loose change would be really, really appreciated. Cheers. See you next time.